Uninsured motorist. You know, that's a term you may have heard from your insurance agent. What does it mean? It can mean a lot of different things to different people. Uninsured motorist covers you if the driver who is at fault in an accident has no insurance. So if you're driving down the road and an uninsured driver crosses the middle line and hits you head on, you obviously have a lawsuit, a case against that driver. But what happens if that driver has no insurance? Florida does not require drivers to have liability insurance, depending on the part of the state you're in. Anywhere from 16 to 40% of drivers do not have liability insurance. They have the very minimum insurance. And so if you're hit by one of those drivers, what do? There's a mechanism to protect yourself. The mechanism is uninsured motorists. And I get so many questions about uninsured motorists, but it really speaks for itself. It's coverage that I can buy to cover the driver who is at fault in an accident with me if they have no liability insurance. If I'm driving down the road and a drunk driver injures me to the point where I can't work anymore, and I have a family with 5 kids and a wife and responsibilities and obligations, obviously I'm going to go after that driver for injuring me. But if he has no liability insurance, uninsured motorist, if I've purchased it, can basically stand in his place as his insurance, and it allows me to go after the insurance that I bought to cover him. And surprisingly, uninsured motorist coverage is not that expensive, but a lot of people just don't think they need it, and so they don't buy it. And there's a misnomer in the Florida insurance industry. A lot of agents will tell clients, oh, you have full coverage. There is no such thing as full coverage. Insurance coverage is like a cafeteria. There is multiple options for you to pick and choose from, and you pick and choose what works best for you in your situation. If you're listening to this, what I want you to do is go get your insurance declaration sheet that declares the coverage you have, and look to see if you have uninsured motorist coverage. If you don't have uninsured motorist coverage, you need to protect yourself and your family by calling up your insurance agent and purchasing it. If you don't have the declaration sheet, call your insurance company and say, I want to know what coverages I have. And if you don't have uninsured motorist coverage, get with your spouse, get with your family, and calculate how much you would need to cover and support your family in the event that you were somehow tragically injured in an accident and couldn't work anymore, and buy that coverage. It's not that expensive, and it's well worth it. You would not believe the number of clients that we see that were completely innocent in an accident. They were hit by another driver who was at fault, and the other driver has no coverage to go after. And that's tragic, because there's nothing we can do to help that family. Get with your agent, look at your policy, talk about it, get the right coverage that works for you and your family. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to contact me, steve@brookslawgroup.com. We answer a lot of questions on our website. Look to brooks.com. Feel free to peruse it. And we have a FAQ section. You can see common questions. But if you have a question that is not answered by our website, feel free to email me, steve@brookslawgroup.com. Until next time, look to Brooks.